Hello agents and welcome to Shadow Gaming. Today I got an awesome DPS tank hybrid build that gives you 1.6 million armor, bonus armor from the MEMENTO exotic backpack, and enough weapon damage to shred through content fairly close to what you can get done running an all red Hunter's Fury DPS build. I have opted in this build to go with SMGs because I love that weapon archetype, and even more so now than ever, and because I believe they work the best with the MEMENTO for quickly picking up kill confirmed trophies. I'm able to face tank any mission or open world activity or control point, almost never die, take a ton of damage before I even do die if I do, but also put out a ton of damage at the same time. And that bonus armor from the MEMENTO is a lot because we have 5 armor cores in total. Now I've tried mixing Adrenaline Rush and Intimidate with MEMENTO and Hunter's Fury, and mixing Bellstone with Hunter's Fury for more sustainability, which you can see in the top right card now, but today I have something completely new and different. Ultimately, I decided on True Patriot as the winner above all else when trying to create a hybrid DPS and tank build that does a lot of DPS but also takes a lot of damage as well. And since this is True Patriot, you can help your teammates a lot more with all the debuffs from True Patriot, so this works solo and in group. But before we get started on the build, if you enjoy my content, please consider smashing those subscribe and like buttons below. And if you got any help from it, consider hitting that share button below to help more agents out. You can check the pinned comment below for all sorts of links to support my channel, my daily Division 2 videos, Discord, and clan on all platforms, but more on this later in the video, so let's get started with the build overview. Alright agents, well, starting off with this build, I'm going to do the specialization, which is going to be Gunner. Now you can use SMGs like I do, or you could throw in say like a Pestilence or an LMG into this build. I've tried that and it works as well. I love killing enemies grants 10% armor. That one is the main reason I run this. I like the perk of every third reload is 50% faster, of course, and generating 10% of total ammo capacity. And of course that 10% weapon handling while not moving, but most of the time you're moving, so that doesn't matter. You mainly run Gunner because you want killing enemies grants 10% armor, and that's about it. There's nothing else I'd really recommend to run on this build in particular, not even really Firewall, but it is possible to run Firewall, run that Striker Shield to get that extra 10% damage per enemy bonus. Alright agents, now we're on to the weapons. So I got dual SMGs in this build, but also I've tried something which is running the Dark Winter with the Pestilence, and I actually really like this build as well, at running the Pestilence instead. So you can choose between either or. Of course the Dark Winter and the Backfire I've used in a previous build. I love these SMGs, they have so much power to them. And the Vector variant of the Dark Winter shreds so fast, and the Backfire does so much damage when it's stacked high enough. So that's the reasons why I run these for this build, especially running 5 armor cores. The Dark Winter comes with Perfect Killer. Killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 50% crit hit damage for 10 seconds. So that gives us even more crit hit damage that we're unable to spec into because of 4-piece gear sets, the MEMENTO, and so on. So that's just kind of like Hunter's Fury, and why, you know, the Payment in Kind works so great and the Dark Winter works so great. It gives you all this extra crit hit damage that you can't get anywhere else because you're running these 4-piece gear set and MEMENTO. Now, Payment in Kind on the Backfire, dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% crit hit damage, and that goes all the way to 200% crit hit damage. But on reload you bleed for 0.5% armor damage per stack. For right now you can skip that reload animation, and it reloads the weapon and skips the bleed. All you have to do is swap weapons right before the reload animation finishes, but I'm pretty sure Massive Studios will fix that sooner than later because that messes with one of the new exotics, so I'm sure that will be fixed soon enough. But until then, Title Update 11, when this video is made, you can still swap the weapons during the reload animation, and it still reloads the weapon to full capacity. But like I said before, you can run the Pestilence with this build. The DOT from it and the debuff over time, dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. That Plague of Outcast talent, it really works well on this build as well. So you can spec into some LMG damage over on the Gunner spec, or you can stick with the Backfire, it's up to you. As far as the Dark Winter goes, you don't have to run it. You could run the Apartment or an MPX with Measured or Strained on it. There's a lot of different variants you can run. The Dark Winter, I just believe, is the best SMG in the game. And then finally, for the pistol, I use the Card Custom because it gives you an extra skill tier. And then I use Future Perfect with it. So when I swap to it, I'll have skill tier 2. And then I can stack 3 skill tiers after that. So get all the way up to skill tier 5 with this build. So that's the reason why I run this Card Custom pistol. Alright guys, so now we're over here on the main build overview of the 6 pieces. Now, I run 4 pieces of True Patriot. I roll all of them with an armor core and then crit hit damage or crit hit chance. It just depends, because what I wanted to do is make sure that I cap out at 60% crit hit chance. I'm right there. If I take off 5% or 6%, I go down to about 56% crit hit chance. So I'm like at 62% crit hit chance, so a little bit too much. Now that's how you want to roll this, is all armor and then all crit hit chance until you hit the cap. Then you want to spec into crit hit damage on these 4 pieces. So for this one, I managed to get away with 2 12% crit hit damage rolls and 2 6% crit hit chance rolls as well. Now the reason I run True Patriot is for mainly the 4 piece. It's really nice to have that extra 30% ammo capacity and magazine size. It gives the Backfire SMG actually 71 rounds in the magazine, and the Dark Winter, I believe you get 61, and you end up with like 1400 rounds as well. So that's awesome. That helps out a lot. And since this isn't a complete DPS build, it's almost a tank build basically, it's great to have all that extra ammo and something like an SMG, especially when you're face tanking, which is what you do in this build. It's nice to have all that extra magazine and ammo. But anyway, the main reason is the 4 pieces, red, white, and blue. So every 2 seconds, enemies you shoot receive a stacking debuff of red, white, and blue. So red amplifies the enemy's damage taken by 8%. White, shooting the enemy repairs the attacking agent's armor by 2% once every second. And I remember this was bugged a while back, but I still believe it works. And then blue decreases the enemy's damage dealt by 8%, and a full flag creates a 5-meter explosion, and they're under the effect of all 3 debuffs as well. So altogether, this thing is amazing. It really helps amplify the damage that you're doing. And then of course, I run 1 piece Sokolo Concern, which gives me 10% SMG damage with weapon damage, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage rolled onto it. And then the main talent, Intimidate. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters, which we will almost always be within 10 meters of an enemy. Now this pairs perfectly with the Memento backpack with kills confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long-term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. Now we're scaling with, of course, armor cores, which is giving us a ton of extra bonus armor. Plus, for every trophy collected, we gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regen for a whole 300 seconds. The max is 30 stacks. Now this gives us an insane amount of armor. And because it gives us so much bonus armor, and it sticks around for like 10 seconds, I believe, then we have all this time to use our Intimidate to get that 35% amplified damage. It just blends together so well. I've been running missions back to back, solo and in group, and I just find bursting down enemies is not that hard at all. It actually bursts down pretty quick for something build with 5 armor cores. I was pretty shocked that this worked, but mixing Intimidate with all that bonus armor you get from the Memento really does increase your damage, especially paired with the 4-piece red, white, and blue. When you're getting amplified damage, everything just kind of synergizes together really well. for a great hybrid of DPS and tank for sure. For the skills, I run whatever a DPS build always does, the Revive Hive and of course the Crusader Shield. Now, this is what you always run on a DPS build basically. You could run like a Fixer drone because I rarely ever use the shield. You can kind of just run around for the most part. You don't really lose your armor that often, so you could run like a repair drone or something. I just am used to the shield, but the Revive Hive is definitely necessary. You're going to want to keep that around just in case. I very, very often never die, so that's something that you might want to think about as well. Alright agents, well that is going to be it for the build. If you enjoyed the video, rate it with a thumbs up. If you would like to see more build videos, daily Division 2 videos, and much more, smash those subscribe and bell notification buttons below so you don't ever miss them. If you would like to help the channel out, you could also check the pinned comment for just about every way how to. I mostly let people know that simply watching my videos to the end is the best way to support me, but there are other ways if you really want to help me out. I recently just launched my Shadow Gaming merch store on Teespring with all sorts of cool stuff to grab on there, and I have a promo code which gives you completely free shipping on all orders in my store for the next 2 weeks. Otherwise, you can support me through alt tech like Patreon and Subscribestar. And of course, you can join my Discord where you can also join my clan Shadow Crew, which is on all platforms. And finally, you can become a member of this channel for exclusive perks. All sorts of ways to support me. But if you made it to this end of this video, thank you so much for watching and listening. That is the true support I love to see and appreciate. Until next time, this is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care, agents.